How's it going, everyone? We are back for our week two NFL stream here. We are actually without Casey this week. It's just going to be me, and I have a special guest this week, one of our very own members in the ProfitDuel Discord. And if you are in there, you know him by the name of Null, but he goes by Zack. So I'm going to bring him to the stage here in a minute. But first off, I just want to give a quick little tribute. I've got the New York or Nowhere hat uh, on today and 24th anniversary of 9/11, so it just means a little bit more today, and just wanted to remember all the lives lost and the heroes from that day. So yeah, just wanted to take a moment there before we get started and before I introduce my guest. But yeah, here we go. We're going to bring on Null. How's it going, Zach?
It's great to be here, Ryan. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate the chance to talk about this today. So great to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on. Zach is actually one of our power users and one of the biggest members in our Discord. He has his own channel in the community called Noel's Corner. He posts about different match betting opportunities every day and all day long. And I'll let him tell his story a little bit, but he has made a ton of money doing this. And he is one of the biggest advocates, I think, for match betting that I've seen. So we'll sort of get into it. We have an action-packed show, and I'll give him the floor in a minute here, but we've got a lot for you today. So happy to be here. So yeah, if you want to just get into it, Zach. When did you start your match betting journey?
Yeah, and thanks for the kind words as well, Ryan. I only started this last year. I had to look it up. It was right before week 4. My first game betting was a Cowboys-Giants game. And yeah, other than one time when I visited Las Vegas and made a small sports bet just to do it, that was the first time that I ever started betting on sports. So I know that everybody watching is probably already subscribing to ProfitDuel, but as you all know, it, the results can happen pretty fast. So I'm glad I started then.
It's awesome. Fitting too. The Cowboys actually play the Giants again this week, so funny to
Exactly.
have you
Yeah.
on a year later when it's the same deal.
Yeah.
I'd want to ask too. Are you comfortable sharing how much you've made in your match betting journey through 1 year so far?
Yes. Yeah. Thanks for asking. And it's only because of the profit tracker that I can track this stuff. So it lets me know that it was 36,000 in the
Jesus,
first
man.
year. Yeah. Right before the first NFL weekend. So blew away my expectations. Um,
Jeez.
yeah.
See
And it's
that
all.
here's an absolute tribute just to show how much money you can make match betting if you really commit to it. So that's incredible. That's more than I can even imagine in a year. So that's awesome, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Looking forward to year 2 as well.
Yeah. Anything else just about yourself about match betting that you want to jump into quickly? I'll give you the floor for a minute here.
Yeah, thanks. And everybody who's already joining this from the Discord knows about this, but I love sharing in Noel's Corner different sports that we can do match betting on: golf, tennis. This weekend's boxing. Just whatever's on. I'm always looking for ways that we can uh, make a few more opportunities. And it's surprising when you look through the sports books. It's surprising how often there's at least something. Sometimes pretty big opportunities. So I love sharing those. And yeah, also some of the promos that we all get, like futures and parlays, that can be somewhat tricky to find the match for. I uh, I love finding whatever we can to collect those extra profits. So I'm happy to share all that stuff in the Discord, and I'm happy to be here as well today. So thanks.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, he's definitely one of the go-to people for finding kind of intense matches that are otherwise difficult to find. So that's been super useful. And just along the same lines, we talked about last week's show. We added NFL props. We added a bunch of other markets on ProfitDuel, and you mentioned boxing and a couple other sports. So we're in the works of potentially getting a lot of that stuff on site. So down the line, we're hopeful that will all be on the ProfitDuel site. But right now, your go-to is just kind of following Noel in the Discord and asking questions within the community. So yeah, we're excited about that potentially down the line. But right now we're just sticking to NFL.
Yeah, and I have my pumpkin spice latte here in honor of what you said last week to get in the mood for football season.
I got mine too. I can't go without it now.
Yeah, it's pretty addicting.
All right. So let's just jump into a little bit last week from week 1 of the NFL. It was kind of an action-packed week, and there was some really good football games. I'm not sure if you watch NFL a ton yourself, but the Ravens and the Bills game was probably one of the better regular season games that I've watched in my life. The only one that comes to mind was the Chiefs-Rams color rush game years ago. But that was really an incredible football game. I'm not sure if you watched or.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw the Sunday night game. Instant classic. I agree with what they're saying. Yeah, I mean, I had it. It's a good thing I didn't cash out my bets or anything. Not like I normally do that, but yeah, definitely looked like the Ravens had that in the bag. And I'm wondering, I mean, it, especially with the Chiefs not maybe looking as strong, although they were without Xavier Worthy for basically the entire game and some other players. Um, are these maybe clearly the two best teams in the AFC? And did that Bills win just clinch that potential rematch being in Buffalo? We'll see. We'll see. A long time
Yeah,
before
no,
between then and now, but yeah,
I we will see. I mean, for the last couple of years, the three teams in the AFC have been the Bills, Ravens, and the Chiefs. Not unfortunately, but the Chiefs don't look as strong to start out after week one. But every single year, I feel like we say something like that is that the year, and then the Chiefs somehow
yes,
just figure it out at the end of the season. But I personally would like to. I'm a Jets fan, so the Bills are in division, so I don't root for them. But I personally would love to see Lamar Jackson get a ring, and I hope that Baltimore actually makes it to the Super Bowl this year. I think he's a super exciting player, and kind of one of the only things that he does not have in his trophy cabinet is the Lombardi Trophy. So I think that would be fun, but long way to go, like you said.
yeah. I'm excited for all the subs along the way.
I'm personally a Jets fan, so we had a moral victory on Sunday. I hate saying that we have a moral victory, but they scored 30 points and actually looked good as an offense for the first time in a long time on my end. So that was good to see. I wish we won, but
Yeah. Yeah, I only saw the highlights of that game and I saw some of the reaction from the because I was watching NFL Network the next morning. They loved all the covers of the New York Post and all the other papers that morning. Um, but you're calling it a moral victory though. So you're okay with some of the quotes out there that Aaron Rodgers is putting out there about the Jets right now?
I, I don't know I don't really know what's going on with what he's like shading the organization and whatnot because they kind of came in, gave him whatever he wanted. They hired a bunch of his buddies, signed a bunch of kind of wash players for a lot of money,
You're right.
and it didn't work out. And I don't know why I don't know why there's any hatred or anything being spewed bad from his mouth. They gave him what he wanted. It didn't work out. It didn't work out both ways, and that's fine. We tried it and it didn't work. I don't know what the shade being thrown is for. I mean,
Yeah. When you think about it, the whole you could have told me that over the phone doesn't really sound like a reason to be that mad. Like it's sort of nice that they invited you in, but whatever.
yeah, I mean, just how Aaron Glenn does business, seemingly. I mean, I like it so far. I mean, he called him in and he told him that he's not going to have him anymore. But yeah, you could have done it over the phone. But if he wants to be a face-to-face person, I mean, why not? I don't really see what the problem with it was. But hey, I wasn't in that I wasn't in that meeting room, so I don't really know what went on.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, cool. Just that well, quick. It was a quick, good week one. So now let's just go ahead and we'll we'll move into week two. But moving into week two, I kind of wanted to just discuss like some of the promos that are out there. There's a couple new promos that have been announced and been used in week one, and they're back for week two that they had not had in the prior season. The first one of them being the touchdown jackpot. I know we had a couple winners in the Discord for this touchdown jackpot, but it's kind of a cool one too that they're offering on FanDuel. You bet on someone to score a touchdown. If they score the first or last touchdown, you get a bonus bet back based on that. So
Yeah.
have you been playing that?
Yeah, pretty much my favorite, and it keeps me, even if the game is bad, I'm still watching the end of the game to see who the last touchdown is. That hasn't come up mostly so far, but yeah, still looking for the first winner, but it makes it fun every time, definitely. And yeah, because you can match this on whichever platform you're on, Novig or ProfitX, or in my case, Kalshi, which I think we might be even be showing some examples in a second. You can do this without risking anything. So just a pure way to get a lot more enjoyment out of the game. And yeah, right now it's my favorite promo of each NFL game. So I hope it's going to continue for the Sunday night game and the Monday night doubleheader this week.
Yeah, they have it for the Thursday game, so I'm really hoping that they bring it back as well. And just like you said, this promo is a really like a risk-free shot as long as you have access to essentially Kalshi, Novig, or Profit X because you can bet
Yeah,
the no side of a touchdown score. It does become a little bit more difficult when you're trying to match it directly on one of the other sites. I believe DraftKings now has no touchdown scores, but you might have to take a slight loss on some of them, which it's not really a guaranteed profit in that way. So that makes it a little tougher. But I think it's Kalshi's around for in most of the states, and ProfitX and No Vig are in a lot of states too. Unfortunately for me and you, they're no longer in New Jersey or Arizona, which really stinks. But
Yes, but yeah, for anybody else who's in the same boat as us, or anyone who is not on any of these yet, you're going to see in a little bit that joining these platforms will it'll become like your number one favorite sportsbook, most likely, if you're not on whichever it is, Novik, ProfitX, Kalshi, Sport Trade. Also, I know that's in the fewer states, but yeah, it really opens
oh,
up a lot of promos. So.
I can't forget about Sports Trade. That's totally on me. Sports Trade is also still legal in New Jersey for me too, so that is absolutely an option too. And this, did we want to? Were we planning on pulling up the boost match for this? No, we'll save that there. But just
Uh,
go ahead.
yeah. Well, I think maybe the next or one of the next things we're going to look at is a boost matcher, and we can look at some touchdown. We can do it before or after if you want. Once I start sharing the screen.
We'll do it after. But yeah, the best way to play this promo if you want to lock in profit is to take one of the touchdown scores on FanDuel and make sure you're getting a 100% match on either the Sport Trades Profit X or Novig or Kalshis. That way, you're not making any money potentially. Depending on what odds you get, you might make a couple cents or a couple bucks here. But the idea is to give yourself a risk-free shot at a nice bonus bet. I haven't won yet. A couple of our members got, I think we got like a $19 on Saquon Barkley the other day, and maybe one on, it wasn't Derrick Henry, on another guy, but
And over eight hundred
yeah,
dollars for Chargers Chiefs, right? Because the same player scored first and last,
yeah,
and
Quentin Johnson, that was a big one.
yeah, it could totally happen. Yeah, all you got to
Yeah.
do is play, and it could happen.
Yeah, no, it's and then you can just convert that back and it's basically free money. So we're looking at some risk-free shots for this promotion. Um, I guess the next thing I want to get into too is I think we had an example in the Discord. The next promo that they had is the Ghost Leg Parlay promo that DraftKings has put up, and there it's a promo where you can bet on up to three legs, a three-leg parlay, and the last leg essentially just voids out if it loses. So you're getting like a risk-free shot at a three-leg parlay um, as opposed to losing on that third leg. So you get the if the third leg loses, then you get a win if the other two win. So we had an example. I think I'm going to see. I want to see if we had an example last week from one of our members. I think Shorty, who was actually in the crowd. He had an example where he had a first touchdown score. I believe it was
Cortland Sutton.
money line and a quarterback passing yards. So you could
Yeah,
there was a way to match a couple of those, and Noel's a little bit more or Zach's a little bit more in tune with that. So if you want to go ahead, but you can match it and lock in profit either way. I think this one outright for Shorty last week, but
yeah. Shout out to Shorty for letting us put his strategy on blast. Yeah, because he had Cortland Sutton first touchdown, which did pay along with the Broncos money line, and just 170 passing yards for Bo Nix. So you think about it, for Denver to win without, like, yes, it can happen, and we'll talk about that in a second. But if Denver wins, they're probably going to get 170 passing yards from their starting quarterback. So, the first touchdown is your sort of like your designated ghost leg. You don't necessarily expect that to happen, but it did in this case. So Shorty made $50, if I'm remembering right, on the $5 bet, and yeah, you could a bet on the Titans. You would only need a very, very small bet because they're a big underdog to make it so that you wouldn't lose anything if uh, if either the Titans win or the Broncos win and their quarterback gets 170 passing yards or the guy scores the first touchdown. Also, from looking at some SGPs on DraftKings this week, it seems like DraftKings is giving kind of good odds for the team to win and player to score a touchdown. I haven't looked at all the first touchdown scenarios, and it could be sort of game specific. But if you use a strategy, you could be taking something that already has a pretty good edge to it, or someone could value on it, and with the ghost leg attached to it, it's almost like it's better than a no sweat, because you lose your no sweat, you get your stake back in the form of a bonus bet. You you lose this, as long as you get two of the legs. Yeah, you're still collecting winnings. Um, I'm always trying to look at ways to not have any chance of losing anything, and there's definitely easy ways, as we have been talking about in the Discord, of making that happen with the ghost leg. So yeah, I would definitely encourage anybody who hasn't been checking it out already, check that out. Consider the SGP strategy. You could also try just a standard parlay of three favorites, probably, so that you are expecting to win. But yeah, it's one of the best promos going right now. I think everybody's limits are probably a little low on this one compared to some other ones, but in terms of the value, it's a great promo.
Yeah, and like you said too, like that's one of those things. Just pop into the Discord, and we are discussing different ways to do this. And you're obviously quintessential of match betting is taking a play where you are making money and not losing any money, no matter what sort of happens. So there's different ways to run this promo to risk it, but we'll have ways in within the Discord to run this promo and make sure that you are making money no matter what happens here, as opposed to putting any sort of risk into this promotion. So definitely jump in and follow along with us there. Yeah, it's really a good one. So I think we're gonna jump ship a little bit. I saw a comment from Harvey, and he mentioned that I just saw a free game reminder channel go up in the Discord, and I did just add this into the Discord itself. It's a little bit of a there's a bunch of free games that are happening in a bunch of the sports books now. So they're right now, I think DraftKings has a touchdown draw, Caesars has an NFL flips, and FanDuel has a weekly shuffle. And there's also, a baseball draw and a couple other ones that are out there for the casinos. But these are games that you could play every single day that potentially unlock profit boosts and bonus bets. And all you have to do is go in and just click the play button. Essentially, some have a little bit more strategy, like the FanDuel Weekly Shuffle, which I'll let Zach talk briefly about because he was a big bonus bet winner last week. So that'll that'll help. We
That
have
was lucky.
a tweet. One member from Twitter tweets out what the best plays for that are, and you do some sort of you do some shuffles to find the best options for yourself. You got to get a little lucky, of course, but it doesn't cost you anything to play these games. You just got to go on every single day, and you get a free chance to make money. Again, risk-free chance of making money. That's what we want. That's what we want here from at ProfitDuel and in match betting.
Yeah, and I think because I was surprised for anybody who hasn't seen the Discord or whatever, it was $352 bonus bets from FanDuel, which as we know can split up for 6 out of 6 last week. Um, the the hardest part it seems like, I mean, if you're willing to do this every day, if you're logging into FanDuel every day, which a lot of us I think already are, and just remember to click that, you're doing probably more than almost everybody in the pool. So you can have a really strong chance. Yes, I got lucky, but in most of these days, 'cause- yeah, because like I said, you get each day you have to log in, so there's a different pool each day, and
Yep.
most of the days there's some pretty good outcomes that you could shuffle onto, and you get 10 shuffles. So yeah, for anyone who hasn't been doing that, yes, it's absolutely worth it. We talk about the specifics of it on the Discord, but worst case scenario, just go and make sure you get something assigned to you each day of the week. Um, you don't need 6 out of 6. You can still get 100% profit boost token, 50% profit boost token. Very attainable. So yeah, I was really happy when I started noticing those last year.
Yeah, I think actually it's crazy too. I think the payout, I saw a tweet the other day. I think the payout for there was like one winner or two winners or something for the Caesars flips and the DraftKings flip was in the high like 5-digit number of bonus bets. I mean, I think they only paid out like two or three people, but to go 7 for 7 on that, I mean, you could have a major payday. Granted, like we said, it's difficult. That one is completely random as opposed to the weekly shuffle and FanDuel where you give yourself a little bit of an edge. But hey,
Yeah.
it's free.
Yeah, and just for playing DraftKings, even if you get none right, you get some type of same game parlay boost token at the end. They can be used on two legs, which is pretty useful. And yeah, Caesars, you get a profit boost token that can be used on anything. The limits might be somewhat different, but yeah, even just for not getting anything right, just for clicking most days of the week, you get some type of profit boost token. So definitely worth doing the free games.
Yeah, awesome. So I will we'll stop with that. I think you got a little fan here in Dan. I wanted to just peep his comment up there really really
Thanks
quick.
for that. Yeah, it's it's good being able to talk to y'all. I really appreciate this opportunity. So thanks Ryan for having me on.
Yeah, no, we're super excited to have you on. Hopefully, we'll get you on and get you on again at some point during this NFL season. But now, I think I want to jump to a week 2 promo look ahead, where we have the Thursday night football game tonight, and we've got a bunch of promos surrounding that. So I think you were going to share, if we can get this to work correctly. This is my first time doing the stream, guys. So hopefully, I'll be able to get
Both of
Noel to
us. Yeah.
share his or Zach to share his screen, and we'll go from there because mine's being a little finicky on me right now. Um,
Cool.
but go ahead and see if you can share your screen, and we're going to try to dive into some of the promos that are going on for week 2 of the NFL.
Yes.
Let's see.
Okay. Um,
Yeah,
I think that
I think that
I am
works.
sharing my tab right now.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Cool.
Do you see it on your
So
end?
yeah, we have the boost
Yep.
matcher up right now.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, so I love the college football games of the week promos. Everybody
They're
sees these,
great.
no doubt. So DraftKings this week has got the Notre Dame Texas A&M game and another one, so you can use it on either game, Florida at LSU or Georgia at Tennessee.
Mhm.
So I was just using the boost matcher earlier actually to see what opportunities there might be. So I'm going to go ahead and type this in to refresh. We've already got all the parameters put in. So DraftKings over here. Specific to NCAAF. So my boosts are 50% and $20 limit. It's bigger than some other sports books, so that's pretty cool. And I'm seeing here that if I use the top result from the boost matcher for Texas A&M Notre Dame game, it's giving me a $3 profit. So the games are Saturday, so I'm not necessarily like trying to jump on this right now. I'm sort of just gauging, what's out there, what DraftKings might be good for. So we'll compare that to LSU. And of course, this is when it says this profit over here, that would be with just the straight, you know, um, neutral, no overhedge or underhedge type of thing. Same.
Yep. That's always an option if you want to do it. But we're going to just show this straight boost matcher technique here. The boost matcher edge is available to users as well.
Cool. So we see now thinking about the choice between Florida LSU and Georgia at Tennessee. We see that the Florida LSU game gives us the same level of profit as a Notre Dame, but this Georgia Tennessee, we could do it right now for about $4.16 or whatever it would work out after we round everything. It looks like right now, yeah, and because they have not moved it, compared to other sportsbooks I was looking at earlier, DraftKings is best or joint best for Tennessee. It's not unheard of, but it's a little bit unusual for DraftKings to be the best for something. They're probably going to move it. Um, so yeah, I use my boost on that, and we're going to be talking about ways to use Kalshi, like we were already saying. So when you do something like this, you can with the exchanges, you've got between now and Saturday, 12:30 Eastern time. So you could put in your order on Novig or ProfitX, and sort of just wait for it to come in. You can just sort of
Yeah.
say what is the best possible price that I could get and be on top of the book. Um, and yeah, a way of getting maybe closer to $5 profit type of thing. A way of just optimizing this a little bit more if you're on all the exchanges. So yeah, that's my approach when I do something like this, because I've got a couple of days. I can wait and see if I get the best price or best odds. And if it's Saturday morning and it hasn't happened yet, obviously I just go to Sportsbook and place the bet.
Yep. I actually have, they're a little bit more generous to me. They give me a $100 max on
I
DraftKings.
heard
Can you
that
put
last
in what?
week. Yeah.
Yeah. Can
You
you
want?
can you put in what it would look like if I do this? Because I have not done this boost yet. So if you are somewhat like me, you would potentially be able to lock in $20 to $21 here just on this promo if you have a little bit of a higher max. Now I know that's not everyone in the crowd, and it really depends on who you are, but I would be able to lock in $21 of profit here. And to Zach's point here, with the exchanges and whatnot, if you have days away, like you can always be, it's a little bit more of an advanced technique and you have to kind of stay on top of it a little bit more, but you can just kind of drive to get a better price and get yourself more profit and kind of, I don't want to say like pinch for pennies, but like you could pinch it for a little bit more money on each of these promos when you have the ability to make a make order on one of the exchanges or prediction markets, because they'll offer better odds, and you can always try to like beat the price and give yourself a little bit of extra profit. Takes a little bit extra work. You don't, it's not as much of a, come in and lock in your profit right away, but it in the long run it could be a much more profitable strategy for you as well.
Yeah, and I'm about to bring up my next tab here to show another way that you can use exchanges for the touchdown promos. So, like we were talking about, I have all these FanDuel bonus bets, right? And I've got a week to use them. So, um, I decided to just pull up. These are all my profit entries for Commanders at Packers tonight, basically, and we're sorting by profit here. With Yeah, so all these exchanges are going to let you get potentially really good prices on players to score a touchdown. or not. This wasn't even necessarily with the promo, but just with the bonus bets I was using. You can see FanDuel's got the Washington defense plus 750, and I was able to get minus 614 for them not to score a touchdown on Kalshi. So that's over 100% conversion of my bonus bet. There's more like this. I don't know about Novig and ProfitX, but 2 touchdowns for a player on Kalshi, that's giving a lot of opportunities like this. When you see big numbers like this, it can be pretty attainable to get that 100% or more bonus bet conversion. But also things like the DraftKings No Sweat minus $10, which is still, I mean, hey, it's bigger than No Sweat from FanDuel. This is, I'm getting $1.40 and the $10 bonus bet. I'm not losing anything on the qualifying offer because I got minus 163 for Zack to not score a touchdown in time. If for anyone who's not on Kalshi, Novig, or ProfitX, you can get things like that, and yeah, it feels great in my opinion to take these promos that the sportsbooks are giving us and find ways to just to just boost everything. I mean, in terms of how much value we're getting out of this, feels sort of good to know that I'm getting an even better price than the sportsbook is getting from me. So I'm definitely happy that I got on Kalshi, especially since I lost access to Novig and all that.
Yeah. I just want to I noticed your profit. I know you mentioned the 36,000 earlier in the show. Just for the viewers, I want to explain something. We get a lot of questions and a lot of comments about, you have $5 maxes, $10, $20 max on these promos. How do you continue to maximize over this time? And you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Zach, but I'm pretty sure you have had these low maxes the entirety of you doing these promotions as well. Am I incorrect or correct there?
Yeah, no, absolutely. When I saw even $20 on DraftKings, I'm like, this is higher than usual. FanDuel is going to be $10 for the percentage boost or $5 for the no sweats, but you can still make a lot without those, or even just trying to do your best on getting the value out of those.
So just for the viewers out there too, like I know we get asked a lot, and you don't think it's like I get to, I can only make 40 cents or 50 cents here, and it's not worth my time or something. These this value and this money stacks as you continue to do more and more offers. So I just want to make it clear that the value is there as long as you stay consistent and do it. And the mindset of, hey, it's only I didn't want to do this promotion because I could only get a match that was $1 or whatnot. Now if you do 50 of those, that's $50 right there. Like this continually stacks. You have to commit to it, and you have to put some time and not skip out on promotions just because you may have a little bit of a lower max. There's still plenty of money to be made off of this strategy here. I'm just gonna pull up a quick comment from Shorty. I think he says, is the idea that you'd request odds on exchange before placing your bet on the promo sportsbook, or place both and request at the same time? I don't know if you want to take that, or if you want me to take that, but
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just depends on you can it's up to your approach. You can try for the best you can get, right? Like you can maybe see what odds you're going to get, and then depend and place your bet depending on what you get, or you can be a little bit safer, and if you see that you've got the odds that you want and you're happy with that, just go for it.
yeah, I mean, I would echo that. It really kind of depends. Like, I mean, on something like I think it also depends a little bit on like the boost percentage and what you got. Like something like a 50% boost, like you could probably place the bet on DraftKings first because the boost is significantly higher. So no matter what, you're gonna be able to find a bet on Saturday morning that's gonna lock in profit for you. Whereas if you have, say, a 10 or 20% boost where you have to be a little bit stricter on what odds you're getting and what the match looks like, that's a little bit different. But something like a 50 to 100% boost, like you could pretty much boost anything and you're going to be able to lock in profit at a later date. So that's kind of where I would probably rely a little bit on the market that you're betting into and how much of a boost that you have. Like a money line, you're not going to, like, the Georgia Tennessee game is, what, minus 180 and plus 150 or something like that. It's not all of a sudden on Saturday to be minus 290 and plus 400. Like, it's going to be sort of in that range. So if you're getting a 50% boost, you can comfortably lock in one side and try to squeeze for odds until Saturday, and then um, if it doesn't work out, you just bet the money line will still be available for profit at that point.
Yeah, great question though. I mean, yeah, something I
Yeah.
always enjoy playing with.
No, absolutely. It's absolutely a great question. And there's not necessarily a right answer for it, but you got to get yourself comfortable taking putting make orders on the exchanges. It's a little bit of a foreign concept for some users, but it's definitely a powerful one, and it's a powerful tool out there for all types of bettors. Um, but yeah, that's the last little spiel there. I think I want to dive into now just week two. Me and Casey always do a little segment about our best bets for the week. We talk about the games a little bit. So I wanted to kind of start to get into that. I'm actually going to Italy tomorrow, so I will not be watching a lot of these games. I get to watch the Thursday night football game tonight, so that's exciting. But my Sunday will be taken up on boat rides and limoncello and whatnot. So I will not, I will not be watching the NFL games. But
Is this
just
the
looking at the
encore to
game
the Jeff
tonight,
Bezos wedding? Another one in
yeah.
Italy, or yeah? Just kidding.
No, I got you. But the Packers and the Commanders tonight, I don't necessarily have a pick for the game. I think it's going to be a really good one. These are two good teams. The Packers sort of surprised me this past week. I said on last week's stream that the division still runs through the Lions, and I think they quickly shut me up. And the Packers looked like a legit football team and a legit threat to the North. And or are they in the North or maybe no? I think whatever. Messing up the division there, and they looked like legit threat. So, and the Commanders are a great team too. So, if I had to pick, I would take the Commanders plus 3.5 tonight. But I think this is a game that I'm going to just lock in my money on the promotions and sit back and enjoy. What about you?
Yeah, 3.5 is kind of appealing, and yeah, I saw. I'm on Packers minus 3.5 on my shuffle, so I'm sort of rooting for that. But yeah, if I were, I'm not too confident about that, so that tells you what I need to know. I think that yeah, Commanders are probably due for a little bit of a regression after last year, and we'll see. I can already see the headlines that the Packers are, going to be seen as really strong, especially if they beat another team tonight like they did at Detroit last week. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. It should be a good one. So we'll now get into we do our favorite of the week and our underdog of the week. I'll start with my favorite of the week, and it's definitely a super ugly one because my pick is going to be the Dolphins money line this week after a horrendous
Okay.
week one matchup against the Colts. Tua threw two picks, fumble. Daniel Jones looked like the MVP somehow, and they just looked horrendous. But they're playing against the Patriots this week, and the Patriots also had a bit of a letdown game, and they're now 1 point favorites against the Patriots. And I'm going to lock in that the Dolphins are going to have a bounce back week this week and beat the Patriots.
Yeah, New England didn't look too good last week, in my opinion, so I could definitely see that happening. I
Yeah. Well,
so
I mean,
and my
go ahead.
survivor pick, if we were going to talk about this, is the Cardinals too. But I haven't actually made the pick. See, I just saw that they're one of the bigger favorites, and I want to save bigger favorites for later in the year. And I saw you and Casey last week saying the Cardinals were a potential playoff team. So, do you want to try to talk me off of that survivor pick, or is it the one to pick?
I'm not going to talk you off of it because I picked the Cardinals last week, so I used them up already. They were my survivor pick last week, and I think a lot of people are also going to be with you on the Cardinals as their survivor pick this week. I'm going with Baltimore myself because I use the Cardinals, but I know you're an Arizona guy too, so they're your local team, and I know they let you down a
Supposedly,
lot, but
Cowboys are probably more popular here. To be honest, nobody here trusts the Cardinals after decades of whatever the Cardinals are doing.
interesting. Okay, but I'm not gonna talk you off it. I was debating going the Broncos last week, and I would have went the Cardinals this week if I had the chance, but I went ahead with the Cardinals last week. I just think the Saints are a terrible football team, but
Cool.
yeah, I will not talk you off that. The next segment is going to be my underdog of the week. I picked the Jets last week, and believe it or not, I want to pick the Jets again. I made a bet on them +7 against the Bills. I'm not doing it because I can't come on the stream and pick the Jets every week because it's just going to lead to heartbreak for me every single week, in and out. So I'm staying off that. My pick is going to be the Falcons +3.5 at Minnesota. I think Minnesota had a great fourth quarter on Monday night, but they looked a little rocky besides that. And
Yeah.
the Falcons, I don't want to say they fell apart at the end of the game, but they had that game won against the Bucks. So I like them to bounce back and at the very least cover the 3 point spread, three and a
Yeah.
half point spread that they're given in Minnesota this week.
Yeah, I somewhat expect Falcons to win that straight up. Almost put it to overtime last week versus Tampa Bay or on Sunday. And yeah, Minnesota just did not look good. JJ McCarthy, as we know, is pretty much a rookie. And yeah, I think Atlanta's a lot stronger than Chicago is. That's still to be determined. But yeah, we've got the same underdog of the week.
Awesome, awesome. That's good to know. Scares me a little bit that we're on the same page there, but
Yeah,
it
exactly.
should be a fun one. I mean, I think McCarthy's, like I said, I think McCarthy's going to settle in, though. I mean, Kevin O'Connell, he's just sort of brilliant in the regular season as a coach, and he's going to get the most out of his guys. So that piece scares me a little bit, but I think Penix is a little bit more talented than McCarthy is. So hopefully we get a little bit of a duel there and a fun Monday night game.
Yeah, and
Um,
a revenge game for Penix after the national championship game won by McCarthy. I had to see all these quotes because I'm a UW
about that.
Husky. I saw all these quotes about how Michael Penix looked maybe not too confident or looked a little bit lost going into that game, which was unusual. But yeah, he's looking pretty strong so far in the NFL. So it's a chance for him to make a strong impression.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a little added bonus there. Okay. All right. So that's I'll give one more pick before we conclude our show. My last one is gonna be I like the Texans to bounce back and cover 2.5 on the other Monday night game against the Bucks. I'm a big Baker fan. I think the Bucks are a fun team, but I think CJ Stroud is. I was a big CJ Stroud supporter last year when he regressed completely. I was famously with my friends saying that he hasn't regressed, and that kind of just bit me in the ass. As by the end of the season, I had to eat my words completely, and I was I was very wrong there. But didn't look great week one, and I'm hoping that offense bounces back this week and they take it to the Bucks. But we'll see. We'll see. Do you have any other picks? Closing thoughts? If not, we'll close the show off in a couple minutes here.
Yeah, I like the Texans as well. And yeah, week two is always interesting because you get to see how much of week one was, or you get to think about how much of week one was a fluke versus how much of it was legit. So I'm excited for all of these primetime games. Who's the Sunday night game? Or that's the Sunday night game. The Monday night game, yeah, is what I'm really looking forward to with the Raiders and
Oh yeah, yeah,
Chargers.
yeah. They
To
got two this week. They have two this week. It's weird. They started it
Yeah,
out already.
yeah, I think they did a doubleheader last year, week two, or one of the early weeks too. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Raiders
yeah, they
Chargers
did.
game, the second game, yeah, two AFC West teams that looked okay, or looked good to okay in their first game.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. I'm excited.
No, I think the Chargers are gonna be really good this year. They might actually win that division over there after they beat the Chiefs week one, and Herbert looks awesome. So we'll see if they can keep that up.
Good year
And
for
they should be
Justin
good.
Herbert so far.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I think it's Justin Herbert's year. He's got the new girlfriend. He's got everything going for him out in LA. Hopefully, he puts it all together. They got Harbaugh running the ship.
Yeah,
They look like a good football team. Quentin Johnson, like we said, he was the touchdown jackpot winner. He caught
yeah,
footballs in week
they
one,
got
which
it
he
all.
hasn't done most of his career. So that could potentially be game changing. Um, but yeah, with that, that's going to close our Thursday show. Thank you all for tuning in, and that was a lot of fun. And Zach, it was great to have you on. Great to meet you. I'm sure we will have you on again at some point if you'd like to be back.
I'd love to
And
be back
hopefully the
if the
viewers
people will
enjoyed
have
this
me.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'd love to have you on again. So that was great. And just happy Thursday, everyone. Enjoy the Monday Night Football game tonight. Let's make some money.
thanks everyone.